Big news today is that some of these accusers may be being threatened and harassed by people associated with R. Kelly. At least that's what prosecutors are saying. Let me put up on the screen. We've got 3 sets of accusations here. The first one against a man named Richard Arlene, who's allegedly a longtime friend of R. Kelly. In substance, during the recorded 3-way call described in paragraph 9 of an affidavit, Arline Jr. discussed a proposal in which Jane Doe, one of the accusers, would receive $500,000 in exchange for not continuing to cooperate with the government against R. Kelly. One of the accusations, okay? Next one. This one involves Michael Williams, who prosecutors described as being related to a former R. Kelly publicist. On June 11th, 2020, at approximately 2:50 a.m. Eastern, a black SUV, which had been leased from Enterprise commercial vehicle establishment and was parked outside of the residence in Florida where Jane Doe, another accuser, was staying, was set on fire in an apparent arson. The vehicle sustained substantial damage as a result of the arson. Third accusation, this one involving Donnell Russell, who was allegedly a manager and advisor to R. Kelly. The defendant, Donnell Russell, also known as Don Russell and Cologne Dunn, together with others, engaged in a course of conduct designed to harass and intimidate Jane Doe, another accuser, by, among other things, threatening to reveal potentially embarrassing photographs of Jane Doe and to publicly reveal Jane Doe's sexual history if Jane Doe did not withdraw her lawsuit against R. Kelly. Wow. So, these are the accusations. Again, these people the government is saying, all tied to R. Kelly, who they've really been painting a picture of as being some sort of a crime boss. And I've been sort of skeptical about that. I'm a little less skeptical tonight. So let's bring in R. Kelly's attorney joining us from Chicago tonight, Steve Greenberg. Steve, you know, one of the issues we've been talking about is the government saying they want anonymous jurors, and I was very skeptical about it. But if the government has evidence that associates of your client are intimidating and threatening and attempting to pay off
Am I your associate? Vinny, am I your associate? Would you describe me as your associate?
You're my guest.
Okay.
You're my guest.
But what does that mean, an associate of R. Kelly? What does that really mean? Now,
Okay,
Don Russell,
okay.
Don
A
Russell
manager,
has a relation.
manager?
Former manager. Okay.
Okay. How about Richard Arline, longtime friend? No?
No. So here's what
Not
you've
a
got.
friend?
Here's what you've got. You've got, let's start with Don Russell, okay? The acts that Don Russell is accused of committing predate R. Kelly's indictment. R. Kelly got sued in New York. It was a public suit. Don Russell took it upon himself to send some materials to the lawyer, filed materials with the court. The lawyer was obviously representing this girl, made certain allegations in those materials, made certain statements in those materials. This is not something where, since R. Kelly has been indicted, Don Russell went out and started threatening people to not testify against R. Kelly. The supposed longtime friend.
Can we talk about the car that's on fire, the SUV?
Well, that has nothing to do with him. There's nothing in that complaint that says that R. Kelly has anything at all to do with that, anything whatsoever, that he's even ever met this person. He has nothing to do with that. They listen to every phone call he makes. They read every letter he sends. They know every time he takes a crap, okay? If he was involved in any of this, you would have seen him indicted for it along with these people.
How about the phone call that Richard Arline made? The $500,000.
He's not on that phone call.
With the government.
R. Kelly's not on that phone call. R. Kelly, they don't have a single call
Why
of R.
is Richard
Kelly.
Arline doing that? Was he just a rabid fan that wants to make sure R. Kelly can go back on tour?
You know, I say this tongue in cheek, but if R. Kelly had $500,000, I'm Exhibit A. I wouldn't be the only lawyer who's coming on your show talking. Okay? He doesn't have $500,000. They know he doesn't have $500,000. The other day they put out something that he got $1.2 million in his bank account last year. Yeah, a star of the magnitude of R. Kelly got $1.2 million when he was out of jail from all his royalties, from all his hits, before he paid any of his expenses, managers, and so forth. It's ridiculous. And the person who's making these allegations left R. Kelly when she knew he had no money. She knew he was broke. It's as if I told you that I'm going to make you the King of England. It's as believable as that.
So your position is that R. Kelly has nothing to do with this, that this has nothing to do with the charges. Will this be part of any of these cases? I mean, is the government going to use this information? I mean, your guy has been charged with RICO, right?
Right.
Racketeering.
So the allegations that they of the underlying acts that result in the civil suit are already part of the New York indictment. What they're trying to do here, Vinny, it's transparent. They're trying to squeeze these guys. These guys wouldn't cooperate with the government. They wouldn't give them any information. They wouldn't say anything bad about R. Kelly. They're ratcheting up the pressure on them. They're hoping to squeeze them to get them to say something bad about R. Kelly, whether it's true or not. And that's all this is. This is intimidation by the government. That's what this is, not intimidation by these people. If you read what Don Russell sent, it is nonsensical, nonsensical. And this particular individual posts suggestive pictures of herself all over Twitter all the time.
So, all right,
it's enough. It's enough.
One or more of these, let's say, if the government, as you say, is just trying to squeeze these three individuals, let's say that they all three take a deal and testify against R. Kelly. What's that cross-examination going to be like?
Well, it's going to be that they got squeezed and that they never had anything bad to say till it benefited them, till they had to say something, till someone took their arm and twisted it behind their back. It'll be a great cross-examination. It'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be very effective. It's enough.
So you're not worried about this?
Not at all.
You're not worried about any of this?
There's things I'm worried about in the case.
I read this.
These not.
All right. Because when I read this, I was like, oh, okay. Steve has not been honest with me about this whole kingpin stuff. Because if you've got people who are doing work for you on the outside and are squeezing accusers, that sounds a lot more like a trial that may need anonymous jurors. But we'll see where all this falls.
If R. Kelly's on, Vinny, I'm going to tell you, if R. Kelly's on the phone telling someone, subliminally implying anything, that they should go pay off a witness with all the other problems he's facing, then he's the dumbest guy in America. And I can tell you, he may not be able to read and write, but he ain't dumb.
All right. Steve Greenberg, the attorney for R. Kelly, appreciate you coming on and giving us the other side of the story tonight.